I wasn't going to get in the middle of all this stuff because I think you guys have enough information coming at you and being inundated with people's energies and perceptions and where they're coming from and everything. But I woke up this morning with such a sense of anxiousness, and I don't do anxiousness. I am grateful that I have trained my brain in a way and my emotional system that that's just not a natural space for me. And yet when I woke up this morning and felt that, I did have to look at it and say, all right, where's this coming from? What's going on? It didn't take a genius, let's be honest, to figure out why I was feeling so hyped up. But I do feel that once I straightened my head out a little bit, it was collective. And I feel like part of my role is to remind all of you amazing, empathic, wired because you're human souls and that beautiful blend, that you're going to pick up on that. You're going to be probably inundated with the energy because it goes out exponentially. And so if someone countries over is feeling nervous or upset, hi guys, thanks for joining. You're going to feel that. And there isn't anything special about anyone who feels the energy that is being produced in our world. You're special because you're you. You're not special because you feel energy. However, you've heard me say this before, perhaps. You are in charge of the energy that you are emitting. And when I woke up this morning and I was feeling that nervousness and the anxious, I literally said, oh, hell no, that is not how I roll. I will not be perpetuating the issues. So it did take a little bit to shift my brains, and I'll tell you exactly what I did. I did some deep breathing. Let's all do that. Let's all take a deep breath. I think you need one more. Doesn't that feel better? Shoulders come down, the lungs say thank you. Hey, it's a good test to see if you have a cold. Can you hold it for 10 seconds? Anyway, I did that and then had to really go to a place of what are my gratitudes? What am I thankful for that I have? This is not just mumbo jumbo stuff. Clear up my language in case kids are listening. Emily, one more breath. You take as many as you need, just don't hyperventilate. So this isn't mumbo jumbo. We really need to be, especially right now, we need to be paying attention to our electrical system, our emotional system. We can call them emotional if you want. It sounds a little bit more fun. And really, what are you emitting? It's no different than being conscious of, did you wash your hands? Are you going in public? What could you be bringing to another person? I've heard this so many times and I'm thinking, well, what energy are you bringing? Because that doesn't get defined by the walls around us. That goes out through text, through social media, through Heart Center. So I wasn't going to put my 2 cents worth in, but I did go to my chiropractor this morning because I need to stay in alignment to then help my clients and to help you guys, I feel. And he said, he issued a challenge. He said, people like you need to step up. And I'm like, ouch. But don't issue me a challenge, because especially one that's heartfelt, because I will hopefully rise to the occasion. So I'm coming on to remind you that we are resilient. We are going to roll out of this. We are going to look back and we're going to see what were the benefits that came from this. We can't see it right now. We're in the middle of it. You can pull yourself out of the middle and choose to see it. That doesn't mean that there's never a moment of nervousness or question or wonder. Those things are still going to be around. Of course they are. They're emotions. All emotions are valid. But you have a choice of whether you're going to perpetuate the viral negativity that is flying around out there. So we are going to be okay. I am going to ask, you're used to odd requests from me, but I am going to ask that we spend some time honoring and respecting those who are going through the process, those who are ill right now, because I think we need to use our energy for the best. And I think we need to help to see them in health. If this is how they've chosen to complete their contract on this earth, it's no different than having a stroke, cancer, massive car accident, or anything like that. Hey, Jess, we have to honor somebody's choice to exit planet Earth. And I feel like rather than get so self-absorbed in all of this, if we used a little bit of our energy for that, it might help you feel better. Because as your stress level goes up, your immunity goes down. And I'm not going to get into any of the politics or the medical stuff here. I'm just going to talk from where I know. If you're calm, you have a much stronger system to work from, physically, emotionally, spiritually, from an immune perspective. We just have more to draw on. And you are resilient. You're funny, you're strong, you're capable of some pretty ingenious solutions in your own life. So why don't we start employing that? I'm seeing this as an opportunity. Now, my business doesn't stop. I can appreciate the fact that I decided to go virtual 6 months ago, and that means that mine continues. I have a heart space for those of you that work for others, and you don't have a say over that. And I feel compassion for that. I will not join anyone in their fear. It's a rule of mine, just not going to do it, like me or not. That's where I come from. However, this is an opportunity to be resourceful, to put some of that creativity that you have already innately within you. Do you know how many lifetimes you've done? This is just a little bump in the trajectory. Now, I have heard some people, there's a couple memes going around saying that if someone is suggesting that you be productive during this time, it's just an example of capitalism. Well, perhaps, but for those of you that are wired like moi, I'm just supposed to sit around and contemplate belly button lint, it's not going to be pretty. I like to be active, and my brain and my energy system, and I believe most people's energy systems work well with a plan. You don't really have a strong plan right now because of stuff that's going on and people, heads where they're not supposed to be. But you can create your own plan. Use that ingenuity, that creativity. What are those projects that you haven't been getting to? We're going into spring here in this hemisphere. Equinox was last night. Extra couple minutes of light. Keep it light. Bring the light. Earth is listening. What are some things that you can do that feel like you are contributing to some kind of plan? That's why people are buying so much dang TP. They just needed to feel in control of something. And that's both sad and endearing in my world. But do something along those lines. Now, that can also be, that meditation practice that you said you were these times all these years. Perhaps now is a good time to start practicing that. I would suggest starting with like 2 or 3 minutes because, don't go big. It is definitely does have its own learning curve to it. And then maybe you can spend that time in your meditation practice sending healing energy out and asking that, some of the viral properties be transmuted or dissipated. We are incredibly powerful beings if we would use our powers for good. So you can use this to connect to self, to those that are in your space. And I have said it a couple of times this last week, I don't have any little kids running around, so I can appreciate that stress that brings. And now you guys are all teachers, but maybe some appreciation for teachers will come of this too. And I just think that when we're asked to pause, and when we ask ourselves to pause, I believe, and because I work with so many people and especially executives, I see this. We get so good at just going. We don't stop. So the panic isn't that we have to isolate. The panic is that, what? You're going to expect me to spend time with me? You're going to expect me to spend time with my own thoughts and my own emotions, and stuff might come up? No way, Jose. Well, yeah, because collectively, from a universal perspective, if we don't freaking get it together so that we understand that our actions impact other people's actions, and that while we don't have to connect with everybody, we do have to have a certain level of humanity within us, well, then this virus is just a tip of the iceberg. So this is an opportunity to stop being a wimp. Look at your own stuff. If the stuff that's coming up is tough, that is okay. You don't have to look at all of it at the same time. You can just peek a little bit, eyeball out. And then, you know how Facebook freezes videos at some point? It inevitably is going to freeze when I'm making that weird face. You just know it. So just look at a little bit of it. So the reason I'm coming on is because I could use some help in keeping the energy up. Fake it till you make it is not really something I believe in. You can if you want, but believing in ourselves is something that I can get behind. And the ingenuity that you're already seeing in people. And you know, Mr. Rogers, he always said to his mom, look, in times of trouble, look, or his mom always said to him, look for the helpers. Well, can we be the helpers? If we find the humor, again, some people are poking at the fact that there's humor going on. I don't know if any of you have ever worked in healthcare or in crime. Oh, when I was working with police departments and stuff, that is some dark humor. You will lose your flipping mind if you don't have the humor, if you don't keep watching the comedies, if you're not laughing at how awful that recipe came out because you're not the most natural cook in the world, but you were giving it a shot. I saw the funniest thing the other day where it said, pretty soon we're going to have to forage for our own food and we're going to have to go hunting, and I don't even know where Doritos live. Come on, that's very funny. So it's also really funny because Doritos, if I'm stressed, that's what I want. So it's just, we have to keep the humor here. Honor those who are going through the process. Keep your energy field up. Vitamin C, get the vitamin C in, people. Not even kidding on this. And then keep coming back to that breath space. That is life force energy. That is what fills us up, whether you are physical or whether you're non-physical. Life force energy is your battery. The breath will calm your brain. The moving of the energy will help you to face whatever's going on, to make those great decisions. The willingness to connect to your own heart will help you to think of others around you. My personal living situation is I live in a condo association, and it just occurred to me this week when considering my neighbors and all of that, that I always said I wanted to live in a retirement village, but I didn't want to wait until I was 55 to do it. Well, I manifested a retirement community And at 50 I'm one of the youngest ones here. So I had to think outside of myself. And normally it's just, I'm in, I'm out, I do whatever I need to do. That idea of considering my neighbors brought me such joy, because this social distancing, we've been doing that for over a decade. We've already been in it. The eye contact we don't make at the grocery store, the lack of compassion that you hold inside some days, the disregard for other people's emotions, beliefs, race, everything. And it's gotten so pervasively bad that we are being asked to tap into the part of us that isn't going to go down like that, that has a little bit of spiritual pride in there and says, I am going to be the example of what community looks like from my own four walls. So separate me because it's in the best interest of the majority of the population. Okay, fine. But separate me from my own meta consciousness, not going to happen. So maybe tap into what matters to you, what's important to you in connecting. The beauty of technology is that we can have this. No, it's not the same as a hug, but this is not forever. This isn't, I promise you. It is to help us reboot. Well, that's making it sound like it was planned for this. I don't believe in that. It is an opportunity for us to reboot. It is how all along I've been asking you to get to know yourself, to like yourself, to be able to spend time with yourself. Here it is. So, we're not immune to the fear mongering that goes on. We're not immune to, as somebody just said to me, going down the rabbit hole. We're not. We all have that place within us that gets scared, and that's fine. Take care of that space. Be the example for the kids of flexibility, ingenuity, brilliance even. In this pausing, that book you wanted to write, I just spoke with someone this morning who his business ground to a halt, and yet he was feeling for all the people he had to employ. And when I was talking to him, I said, but your warehouse needs a lot of work. Those trucks need washing and vacuuming and stuff. Something like that gave him a whole new purpose, a whole new feeling of, oh, I am going to be okay in this. And that's what I'm talking about in where are you directing your energy? Fear and excitement. Fear is contagious, so is excitement. You might not be saying zippity doo dah. I get to spend all this time with my loved ones. But the idea that you get to be with them is pretty important. And you've heard all this, you know all of this. I just want to remind you that it's not always what's right in front of our face that matters. It's what am I learning from this? What is the opportunity? How can I keep my vibration at a level that when this all completes and we're released on our own recognizance again, are you going to be upright and able to take the next steps and move forward? Or are you going to still be spinning because you got so out of whack by listening to the that's out there? So I'm not going to go into the intuitive space for this reading. I'm going to stay in the coaching space because you are all brilliant and you're all capable of connecting with what is in your highest interest, and a blanket statement is not serving to anyone. I will say that we have the opportunity to transcend a lot of our past hurts if we're willing to look at them during this time of forced evaluation. So take it, be be charting that path of being proud of yourself at the end. I'm including naps in this. Wandering, getting outside for a walk, you can do that. Exercising, singing, dancing, cooking, all of this stuff. Maybe you've wanted to learn something, some subject, and YouTube. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful experience. So use that there. If you take nothing from this long-winded rambling thing, take the fact that you are very, very capable of keeping yourself in alignment in a space that is an example of the expression of love, the expression of connection, the expression of your soul, and the expression of light. And you can do it. I believe in you. And I'd like you to stay with me on this as we keep raising this vibration and don't allow the fear-mongering to drag us down. We got this. Okay, so there are some great meditations online. No, I haven't recorded any. Well, I have some recordings of my own. I'll upload a couple of those. But there are some great meditations online that can help guide you through, and some brilliant ones on YouTube that can help you to just calm this whole system. So I'd also I'm going to ask for those who not only are watching this live, but afterwards, comment in there. What are some of the things that you are doing, and tell me what's some good that's come from this? What is some benefit that you're already seeing from this? I'm telling you, one of the things I'm going to do next, besides becoming more aware of my neighbors and being less autonomous, I'm going to go through all those books I have in the other room, and I'm going to put them down in the lobby and just let people take whatever they want to take, because they're probably going to be looking for new stuff to read. That's something like that. But what's come from this? What's the good that's come from this? Because the more that you speak of what's working for you, the more it's going to raise your vibration, and it's going to keep it up there. Okay? And the funnier, the better. The more connected, fantastic. There are all kinds of people offering music at certain times on Facebook. Yoga tomorrow morning, 8:30. Jurian is going to offer a class. I plan to be there virtually, and I hope you will too. Please don't play the victim in this. Please don't. You are powerful. You have an inner strength. You have a brilliance within you that needs to stay lit. Okay? And let's keep it funny and keep those puppy videos coming, because we need them. Okay, take care.